Okay, my beautiful people, it's your boy Views on Sport. We are back with another video, and I'm very, very happy today. It's a day early, you know what I mean? But finally, you get me. We got the star, the watch along star man like T Chanzo Sports in the building. What are you telling me, my bro? You good today?
Yeah, I'm blessed, man. Thank you very much for having me on. Blessed to be on, making my debut on the show, man. And yeah, hopefully we can have a good show. Pick up everyone in the chat. Make sure you guys like up the thing. Make sure you subscribe to Views on Sport as well. And yeah, man, we got a lot to discuss this week, bro.
Lot
Especially
to
after that
discuss,
game. So
bro.
yeah, I'm gassed.
Yeah, man. A lot to discuss. Like I said, man, thank you ever so much for coming on, man. Big things, man. Definitely appreciate that. And like I said, gang, if you don't know T Chanzo, the name will be in the description. Make sure you're going to show love, playback gang as well. Like all of his content and go and subscribe over there. So basically, it's under the lens. It's basically your show on my platform. I normally start and just ask every guest, about their kind of first exposure to Arsenal, when you might have got into supporting the team, and maybe some of your kind of early memories of good things at the club, bro.
Yeah, man. So basically, when I was younger, bro, I didn't actually like football at all. It's only up until I was like probably about 6 or 7. Like I remember my brother tried to get me into like watching it, playing it. I was just like, nah, I'm not really interested in it at all. And it's only till I went to like I think it was like primary school where I had a best friend, big up Raj, man. He was an Arsenal fan, innit? And he was like, "Oh, I'm an Arsenal fan. You need to support Arsenal." Bearing in mind, I didn't know how good Arsenal were at the time, and I was just like,
Yeah,
"Bro, I didn't like football in it." So I was like, "You know what? I'll support Arsenal, whatever." Boom, 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 boom. And then my first actual experience of watching Arsenal was actually the Arsenal versus Liverpool 2001 final, the FA Cup one. And
okay,
this is the first time I watched a football game at all. So I'm
right,
watching the game, and Arsenal are battering Liverpool, beating them up. Should have had a penalty, all of that stuff.
yeah,
They go 1-0 up, obviously, Freddie Lundberg. And then we end up losing the game. McAlowan coming on off the bench, scoring a Mazda, doing a double, a brace. And I'm like, what is this? Like, I was fascinated the fact that Arsenal dominated the game and we lost. I'm like, what is this for? How is this fair? So from that, I was hooked, bro.
looks,
And
man.
it just so happened, right? I was lucky, I was blessed that the next season we won the double in it. So
Yeah,
I was like, yeah,
2002.
oh, this is crazy, man. This is
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
And to be fair, bro, one of the things that did draw me to Arsenal as well, obviously, not just obviously Raj being my mate picking it, was, bro, the amount of black players at the time that Arsenal had. You're talking
mm,
Thierry, Wiltord,
good,
Carnu,
good.
Vieira,
Yeah,
obviously Cole Campbell. The rest, like
low.
the majority of the team were black. So obviously, seen as a black guy, I'm thinking, you know what, I kind of resonate with it because obviously, when you're obviously a black person, you don't really see too many people on TV that look like you in it as a
Yeah,
kid.
great,
So like
great.
that first off alone was something that drew obviously towards me for the team. But then, bro,
Hmm.
after that, man, some of the football I used to see, like it was crazy. Like the fact that I was introduced to that, that's why obviously probably my standards and maybe yours as well is like all time high because when you're introduced to that level of football, the passing, the play, so that was like peak Arsene Wenger, where bro, the one touch, we were ripping teams apart, opening them up at will, and yeah, man, that double winning season was amazing, bro. Like the fact that we won the league unbeaten away from home. Was one thing at the time was unheard of, obviously, during that time of the period, obviously, before we even did the Invincibles.
Yeah,
But yeah, the play we had, the Bergkamps, the Thierrys, obviously, Thierry, my favorite player of all time.
yeah.
Honestly, what a player, man. Yeah, that just what kind of drew me in even more in it. So yeah, and then obviously after that, we won the FA Cup the next season, should have won the league, and then obviously we had the unbeaten season, man, the year after that, which was amazing, bro. But yeah, there was some of like my first early memories, and then obviously
Mm,
watching the games on TV. It kind of just like resonated how good the team was, how other teams and other fans would speak about this team, saying, "Oh, some of the football is breathtaking." I remember obviously hearing Andy Gray and Martin Tyler back in the day waxing lyrical over Perez and Thierry and bro, these players, I'm looking back at it now, these was like generational players. Like these were unbelievable. The talent and the fact they were all playing together as well as the likes
yeah,
of Ashley Cole, Sol Campbell, etc.,
yeah.
was just a sight to see. Looking back on it, like in hindsight, it's like, bro, what a team that was, man. Just we should have won more trophies. Thinking
Yeah,
about it now, to be fair,
yeah.
the amount of obviously good players we had at the time, man. So yeah, obviously that's like my first like introduction to Arsenal. And then obviously we get past the Champions League final, which was obviously a heartbreak, of course, not winning it. I don't know how we didn't win it after that run, bro. We were
Crazy.
unbelievable. That whole run, bro, when we beat Real Madrid, beat Juventus, beat
Yeah,
Villarreal, we were 1-0 up in the final, man.
I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
Paul
Well,
Campbell.
gutted, bro. Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. So, yeah. And then after that, man, the Emirates era is kind of where it kind of goes a bit left in terms of like we were still playing good football, but we weren't winning anything. We weren't winning anything for a good while, man. Obviously, we went 9 years without a trophy.
Yeah.
And that's probably some of the dark days in terms of when I'm going into, like, obviously, secondary school, high school, or whatnot, where the team's good, but, bro, we're not winning anything. And then, on top of that, we're selling our best players to the likes of Man United, Manchester City. Do you know what I'm saying? Fabregas has to go to Barcelona, then comes back and then plays for Chelsea. So these are the things you have to deal with during this time. And we're selling our best players, and then the replacements we're getting, they're not good, man. They're not good replacements. Like, you're going down and down and down. We're getting like Denilson. We're getting like Bentner. Then, bro, the level is going slowly down. We were replacing Ashley Cole with Clichy and Gibbs. And then, bro, the level just go lower and lower and lower. Yeah. So, yeah, and that's when, obviously, during that time, I still obviously believed in Arsene Wenger for the simple fact that during this time, obviously, when I was first introduced to Arsenal, bro, we were like one of the best teams in Europe. And he was the guy behind it. So for me, I'm like, bro, I know this guy's still got it in him. Like, he just needs better players. Obviously, he's selling the players at the time during the fan match. I don't know if you remember. We weren't sure if it was Arsene Wenger not wanting to buy money or if it was obviously the ownership that didn't want to spend the money. So it was kind of like to and fro there. So I still had a bit of belief. When we start to get people like Mesut Ozil and Sanchez and stuff like that, I thought, you know what, this could be an opportunity where we could really, really do something. But we always used to fall short, fall at the final hurdle. And I think the game for me that really turned, I thought, you know what, Arsene Wenger's not going to do it anymore, was the game against Manchester United. It was in 2016, I think. They had a Rashford that was just starting, 17-year-old. They had, I think it might have been David Blind in defense, Carrick in defense, Varela right back. They had literally had like a makeshift team. We had our best team. We had Welbeck back. We had Sanchez, Ozil, Ramsey, Walcott. We had our best team, and we lost 3-2. And after that, I just thought, you know what, this guy, Arsene Wenger, he's not going to do it. Like, with our best team going to Old Trafford where we needed to win, I think if we would have won, we would have been like 2 or 3 points off Leicester at the time. So we were still in touching distance with them. But yeah, we lost that game, and I just thought, you know what, if you can't win the league when Leicester are going to win it, or no disrespect to them, because they deserve to win it in the end, then you're just never going to do it. You're never going to win a major again at the club. Yeah. And yeah, it was sad how it went out, man, to be fair, because obviously he's a legend, in it, and he did give us like my first like great memories just as winning titles, winning cups and stuff. So the fact that we had to hound him out and boot him out was obviously not ideal, but yeah, obviously that phase happened. We got Unai Emery in, and yeah, for me, obviously, again, when he came in, I was obviously a bit optimistic, something a bit different, a bit refreshing than Arsene Wenger. And I feel like in hindsight, he probably didn't get the right amount of time and probably the authority compared to what you say to like Mikel Arteta. Then obviously that he should have done in terms of him wanting to sign Zaha. We got Pepe instead. He wanted to sign, I think, Nzonzi. Then we got Guendouzi instead. So there's a lot of players that he wanted to sign that we didn't really obviously promise him that to follow up from. So yeah, I feel like he probably should have deserved a bit more time. And then yeah, we got linked with Arteta. And I'll be honest, bro, I didn't want him when he came in, bro. I just felt like, you know what, this guy's inexperienced. He's never managed before in his life. He's a coach at Manchester City. He's coming into a big job that needs a massive rebuild. And yeah, I was not convinced. The first 6 months when he won the FA Cup, I said, fair play. Bro, you won the FA Cup. I know a lot of people like kind of discredit because it was Emery's team. But for me, I'm like, you know what? You had to beat Man City and Chelsea in the final, and you did it. It was your tactics. You set up the team and you won the trophy. Fair enough. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, after that, man, I just felt like there's loads of times he could have got sacked, bro. Like, you're talking about the fact we finished 8th the next season. We lost to Villarreal, Unai Emery's team, the year after, man. Lost the Europa League. We got knocked out by Nottingham Forest the year after that, who were in the Championship in the FA Cup. We bottled top 4. Spurs beat us to it when Conte was there as well. So there's a lot of seasons, man. That's 2-3 seasons in a row where you think you've kind of underachieved in every single season. And you've not really got the experience to back up or the longevity to say, you know what, you've done this at X amount of club here and there to really warrant that kind of process or that kind of faith in you long term. So yeah, obviously I was disappointed with obviously him actually staying, to be fair, during that time. And then the season that we challenged for the league the first time, obviously that was the first season I was like, oh, okay, I was impressed because I'm like, that season I wasn't expecting us to do anything really. I mean, maybe challenge for the top 4 again, but the fact that we were obviously, the football we were playing was amazing. Zinchenko and Gabriel, I thought, came in and slotted in perfectly. They were fantastic. And bro, we should have won the league. That's again. And that's where I feel like I am with Arteta, where he'll do some things and I'm like, you know what? I like that. You're on the right track. And then at the final hurdle, it just doesn't have enough to get over the line, innit? And that's the frustration when it comes to me and obviously Arteta. Like, I'm not going to sit and say he's obviously done it terrible and he's not done some good things at the club. I feel like the fact he's fixed our defense in terms of never go into a game thinking we're going to concede 4 or 5 goals. Where under Arsene Wenger and even sometimes Emery, I was worried against the big teams, man. You know, we've seen the 6-0s, the 8-2s, the 5-1s, all of that kind of stuff. So for me, I'm like, that's one thing he definitely has to improve, because I don't go into a game thinking we're going to get smashed. But then you look at the things where he definitely should have used people better. He definitely should have improved certain players better. Our attack is definitely declined since last season as well. So there's a lot of criticism for him this season, and you question some of his substitutions. The fact that in press conferences he's not always truthful. He says certain things and he never kind of backs it up with other things. So yeah, bro, I feel like there's reasons to question him, man. And the big one is obviously we've gone 5 years without winning any kind of silverware. And you look at other teams like Newcastle winning it this season, winning the League Cup. You look at Manchester United, they've been in the mud for the last, God knows how long. They've won 2 trophies in the last 2 years. So that's something that's definitely not acceptable, how he's been throwing away the cups year in, year out, going out to Man United, going out to Liverpool. But listen, we're still in the Champions League. Obviously, we'll probably get onto that in a minute. But yeah, for me, in terms of, obviously, that's my period of being an Arsenal fan, the good times at the start, then the iffy times in the middle, and then obviously the bad times towards the finishing 8th and 15th at Christmas and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, bro, I feel like I'm a bit more optimistic now. Berta's come in. I feel like that's given maybe a bit of added pressure towards Arteta in terms of, bro, when he was with Edu, it just felt like a brethren thing. It just felt like them guys were in cahoots. No one was really going to question each other and put each other like under pressure. But with Berta, man, serious. He comes in the training ground. He's looking. He's not smiling. He's like, yeah, what are we doing here? We need to make sure that we come correct.
Yeah, we're going to get into
the board. We're already linked with Gyökeres. We're already linked with Nico Williams. We're already linked with these big signings. And he's got a history of doing it at Atletico Madrid. So, bro, that kind of has up to my optimism in terms of, you know what, even if Arteta isn't the guy, I feel like Berta is going to be the guy to, like, you know what, you're not the guy. See you later. We're going to get someone in that's going to do what I need to do for me to be successful at the club, as well as the manager that's in charge, in it. So, yeah, I feel that appointment's really like lifted my spirits, and we'll see what happens. Obviously, during this season, we're still obviously in a great position in the Champions League. But overall, bro, that's my kind of thoughts on the club, man.
Yeah, big up, man. One big air horn for man like T Chan in the building. What's man talking about? Big tops, you know. Listen, 7 people in the building. Make sure you're liking the video. His name is in the description. I'm sure you've all seen him by now on the Fan Reaction Hub and all that stuff. So go and show some love. This is Broski right now. Yeah. So no, a lot of good things you said there. And it's interesting because you're probably a little bit younger than me. So you're like literally, it was almost like Kivio against Real Madrid in certain points on Tuesday, just a little bit behind. Do you know what I mean? Just phase behind. So as you said, my bro, you know, when you was going to school, things were starting to get a bit dicey. But my school life was blessed. You know, my school life, hey, you know, Wenger ball getting compared to Barcelona, like, you know, Thierry, like, you know, as you said, all of the things that you said, I was there for it. Do you know what I'm saying? So when I was in school, my school life was blessed. So that was a great point you said, because that was our standards, bro. You know, we're used to seeing Thierry Henry. We're used to seeing the Pires, and, you know, midfielders like Patrick Vieira, bro, Emmanuel Petit. You know what I'm saying? So when we, you know, when we sit there and try and say standards, or we're not just happy with second, a lot of these new school fans don't understand that. They really don't. And you know, you see it from Tuesday night. Some, you know, that was the best night for some people. Don't get me wrong, that was a massive night, probably the biggest night at the Emirates. But I've seen bigger nights, bro. You know, like 5-1, the 1-0 away to Real. Do you get me? Like, we've seen, because we've been around. Do you know what I mean? We've been around winning the title at Old Trafford. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
Exactly. So.
Bro, it's a great point you just made there, bro. Because thinking about it now, like, some of these fans they've never seen us win a league title. They've never seen us actually lift a big major trophy in it. So, like you're saying, you're right, bro. Like, that last night obviously was an amazing night. I fully enjoyed it. But, bro, we've seen bigger, bro. We won the league at Old Trafford. This is a Fergie Man United team, firing, kicking. We won the league with no Thierry, bro. Like, we went there and beat them, bro. And won the league there. We won the league at Spurs, bro. At our biggest rivals. We were unbeaten. Like, brother, there's levels to this, innit? So for me, I 100% agree. And this is where you got to be careful in terms of the fans not really trying to sway you in terms of thinking that this level is the highest standard it is, because it's not. It's the highest standard that obviously they've seen. But for us, bro, we've seen bigger and higher where we've actually lifted major honors, innit? So for me, you've just always got to try and keep that standard there. Like, listen, this is great and it's a fantastic night, but we want to get to higher. We want to get to where we were before. We're under prime Wenger, where we were competing for the Champions League. We were obviously winning the league on a regular basis. So, yeah, great point you made there, bro. I feel like we definitely have to try and keep the standards high because again, we want to be feeling like we felt on Wednesday every night, bro, every game. Like, why can't we feel like that all the time in the league? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we want, bro. This is why we're not moaning. We want the best for the club. That's literally it. So yeah, man.
It's mad, isn't it? I was saying because everyone's the main character of their own story. So I was even watching a little bit of Dan Potts. Big up Dan Potts. He was on Gal and Lee and Christian and Kenny. You know, they was all on. And then you got kind of like the negative side and then the more positive side. And like I said, everyone's the main character for their own story. So these guys, I mean, I don't think it's they believe what they believe, and I'm just like, all right, cool. But like I said, I'm just trying to understand the mind of the so-called top gooner because I'm not kind of a blind faith guy. Do you know what I mean? Like seeing is believing, my bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Seeing is believing. And yeah, you know, these guys are just really happy with second. And I'm like, look, while it's somewhat progress, if you're second 3 years in a row, you got to start questioning whether it's progress or whether it's stagnation now. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man, great points. And like I said, it was good to obviously hear your background, how you got into Arsenal. I can also hear there's a little bit of an accent there, my bro. Like, tell me like where you're from. You don't have to like break it all the way down, but just give me a little something about where you're from, my guy.
Yeah. So I'm from like the Midlands, in it. So like, there's a couple of like West Midlands kind of area in it. That's where I normally grew up or whatnot. But yeah, obviously I've got family in London as well, so it's all kind of linked in it in terms of different areas that I'm from. Like definitely from, obviously my parents are originally from like Jamaica too, so yeah, man, there's a bit of Jamaican patois twang and all that stuff. So it's all kind of melded into one, in it, like kind of my background and culture and that. So yeah, bro, it's obviously interesting, like you were saying, in terms of like you growing up in school and you being the guy, and I feel like with these like kids that are growing up today, like. You've missed out on a lot, bro. Like, you want to have that feeling going into school knowing that, bro, my team is the team. No one can chat to my team, bro, because we've got X amount of player, this, there, and there. We've won X amount of trophies. Look at that final. Look at that game where we beat your team 6-0, 5-0, whatever, bro. So, yeah, I feel like these new generation of fans, they are missing out, bro, in terms of thinking that this is the highest standard they can obviously get to. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Obviously, in terms of where I was living or whatever, bro, this is why I can't stand Man United fans. I know a lot of people and a lot of Arsenal fans don't like Tottenham, but for me, growing up, Man United was my sole enemy, bro. They were my rivals to the death, to the day. This is why I have to do those hate watch-alongs, bro, to see them in the mud, and I'm happy every time because they cause me pain. It's personal between them and me. You get it? So yeah, for me, Fergie, bro, yeah, that was it, man. Me and them back to back, head to head. It was a rumble, bro. So yeah, man, definitely got to obviously keep that up, bro. And it's just sad to see, obviously, we haven't really got that rival anymore because they're in the mud. We're not really winning anything, so we can't really rub it in their face. So yeah, it's a bit mad.
I wanted to ask you about that because obviously, like, we're going kind of from then, and then we kind of end up where we are now, and just to see how wild it is. Not just the Arsenal, like, you know, the football as a standard is completely dropped. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm probably just a piece older than you. I remember when every team had a star player, bro. Southampton had a Matt Letitia. Do you know what I'm saying? Norwich had a Huckabee. Or do you understand what I'm saying? There was, who did Benito Carboni play for? A good few teams. Like, you understand? Like, there was always, you know, Chelsea had Zola and Hasselbank, and that was when they were tin pot. Do you know what I mean? That was before the money. So the level of football has just changed so much, man. But I'm glad you brought up the whole rivalry thing, because Tottenham are not our rivalries. No, they're not our rivals. They're just our neighbors. They're just in the same area as us. As you said, I'm from that area, bro. Premier League, Arsene Wenger versus Fergie, Roy Keane versus Vieira in the tunnel. You know what I mean? Like, all of that. You know what I'm saying? When we had Thierry Henry, this guy, like, I go to school and people, when they know they're playing us, it wasn't even just about the football. They're scared of Henry, bro. It's like, they're scared, and we don't have that anymore. I don't think we've had anyone like that maybe since Oba. Do you know what I'm saying? And where he was just kind of vibes. But yeah, anyway, enough about that. So I want to pick your brain about kind of where we are now then, considering, you know, where we was. What do you feel like is because this is what I say on my channel a lot. I always try to identify the single biggest problem at the club, because this year, as much as we're second, and, you know, I feel like we've kind of regressed a little bit and fell off the cliff. So firstly, do you feel the same? Do you feel like we've kind of gone backwards a little bit? And then secondly, what do you feel like is the biggest kind of single problem at Arsenal? Like, if you change that or if you fix that, then we start maybe moving in the right direction, bro.
Yeah, good questions, bro. Good questions. In terms of what I thought of the season, Yeah, I felt like because before the start of the season, even though again I started questions about Mikel Arteta, my feeling of the season was that we have to win the league now. Like it's been 2 years. We bottled it in the first year. We came very close in the second year. Yeah, literally one game, that Aston Villa game. If you made the right choices in terms of personnel, stuck with habits up front, then potentially we could have won that game and won the league. So, bro, 2 points off. I'm like, yeah, Austin City again. Obviously, thinking that Liverpool weren't going to be an equation in the table. Yeah, we've got to win it, man. We've got to win it. And for me, I've just been disappointed from the off since, bro. You know what it was? It was from that Declan Rice red card. I'm like, you know what? This don't feel right, man. And then obviously before that, we had the window with obviously just getting Sterling, and just that period there. I'm like, bro, this don't feel like a title winning summer where you brought in major players to really kick on and go over the line, man. And then yeah, it just was. It's just been a calamity, man. Not in terms of, like I said, a couple of referee decisions have been bad, but more about the way the fans and not even the fans, the team's been playing, bro. It's been so like lackluster, relying on set pieces all the time. And listen, having set pieces is great. And listen, that's a great arsenal to have to add to your play that you have in open play, bro. Like, but for me, we've just been very, very stagnant in terms of how we're breaking teams down. We're losing and dropping points to the same teams. You look at, we dropped points to Fulham last year, same again this year. We lost to West Ham last year, same again this year. We lost to Newcastle last year, same again this year. We dropped points to Villa last year, same again this year. So it's just the same teams, the same managers with the same tactics, and we're not able to break them down. And it's not really a surprise considering we didn't buy any starters. We bought Sterling, who's obviously not the player he was. He's absolutely finished at the top level. Marino's been a squad player, a lot better up front than he did in midfield, in my opinion. And Calafiori's been injured most of the time. Has been outshined by Lewis Skelly, who's 18. So there are signings. And we got Neto, who literally we played one game and he made bozo mistakes. And we ain't seen him since, bro. And he's only in his cup time. So yeah, that summer absolutely stunk. Thinking about it now, bro. Yeah. But yeah, man. Going back to obviously like I was saying in terms of expectations, for me, bro. Like even before, like I said, I wanted to win the league, but the minimum for me was you had to win a trophy. Like I can understand. Obviously, I'm not a guy that's unrealistic in terms of. I know it's hard to win the league, and then especially from a manager that doesn't have the experience of winning the league, and I don't particularly rate in terms of he's not got the longevity or the experience of winning major trophies. I can understand if he loses to Pep because Pep's a better manager than him. I can get that, but for me, what is not like forgivable is going out and getting dumped out of these competitions so easily in the third round. A poor Man United team, we lost on penalties, man. Not good enough. Last year, we got knocked out by West Ham in the League Cup. Not good enough. This year, we got knocked out over 2 legs to Newcastle, not scoring a goal. Not good enough. Last year, we lost to Liverpool's B team. We battered them, missed loads of chances, got knocked out in the third round. Not good enough. And they're the kind of games where I'm really on Arteta, because it's like, bro, we're good enough to win a cup, man. We're good enough to win a couple of cups. If you can't win the league or the Champions League, they're hard trophies to win. Only one team can win them. You look at the Champions League now. Look, PSG could win it. Barcelona could win it. They look good as well. Inter look good as well. We've actually won 3. Only one of these 4 teams can win it, bro. Like, and the other good teams in another year would probably win it if it was lesser teams. So I understand that. That's not a problem. But for me, the cups were by far the favourites in all of the cups, because for me, we've got the best team. City have been obviously falling off a cliff. Liverpool have not treated the cups really that seriously. Look how they lost to the bloody Plymouth playing their B team. So for me, it was no excuses not to at least get to a final of one of them trophies and win that, to give a bit of winning mentality to the players that are already there. People like Bukayo Saka's not won a trophy apart from the FA Cup, but he didn't play in the final. Same with Martinelli, he was injured, he didn't have a contribution there. Gabriel's been here for what, 5 years, not won a trophy, a major trophy. Saliba the same, Odegaard the same. Bro, these guys need to start winning some things, man, before they go off to Real Madrid and Barca and start winning elsewhere. We've seen the story before, me and you, bro. We've seen Fabregas and Nasri and Van Persie complain about the ambition of the club and leave and get sold to rivals and all that good stuff. So yeah, I can't sit here and have that happen again, bro. Listen, fire for them, man. You know,
cooking, bro. Tops is cooking, bro.
We've been here before, brother. Like, we know what's gonna come if we don't start getting over the line. That's why I'm on Arteta even more, because I'm like, bro, I can see what's gonna happen. If these men don't start winning things, they're going to leave the club. I've seen it. They're gonna not sign contracts and they're out the door, and then we're gonna start this process all over again. Long time since I've seen Gabriel and Saliba, the quality of centre backs that we have currently at the club. It's been 20 years since we've got basically replacements for Campbell and Torre, bro. That's how long it's taking. We know how long it takes to get a striker.
Sort the defense, and then we're missing on the striker. Sort the striker, then we're missing on exactly.
This is how it works, bro. We sort the midfield, then we ain't got a good goalkeeper now. Now we need to get this, bro. There's minimal opportunity for you to get the perfect team in terms of happy with every position in the starting 11.
Yeah.
And for me, we're only a couple of places away now. But when we start wasting transfer windows, it gets deeper and deeper. Before, we probably only needed 1 or 2 players. Now we need 5 or 6 to really have a competitive squad to go into the Champions League, go into the league. We need a replacement for Odegaard. We need a replacement for Saka. We need a left winger. We need a striker. We need probably another left back to compete with Lewis Kelly if you're going to play Calafiori as the centre back option if Kivior gets sold. So these are positions that we need to get filled with quality and quantity at the same time.
Right.
We've got one of the shortest squads in the league, bro. 22-man squad in 4 competitions with extra Champions League games. It was always going to end with injuries, bro.
Yeah, not just that, but you want to play a high-intensity game as well with such small squads. How does that make any sense? Hey, listen, bro, you've been cooking, man. Let me just literally, I know this is a one-on-one show, guys, in the comments, though, so I'm not going to be able to get to it all the time, but before we move on, let me just salute the people that have come in. Big up Shane Guna. It's bigging up me and T Chanzo. Big up Shane, each and every time. Make sure you go and subscribe to Shane as well. Big up Tony Claude Gunner. Hope you are well today, my bro. Make sure you go and subscribe to Tony, man, each and every time. Big up Benny Hill. He says, any result, it's a cup final win or a league winning result. Should just be celebrated simply as a win. Yes, it's nice, but means nothing without the silverware at the end. Well, if you're relating to the Real Madrid game, absolutely, bro. And I said the same after PSV. I said the same after Man City, because I don't think we've won more than 3 games in a row. So it's like, we know we got bigger fish to fry. You're worrying about one result. It makes absolutely no sense. But thank you for that, Benny. Let's move on. Big up Tony at Early Doors as well, West Ham fan. Make sure you're all going to subscribe to Tony as well. He's bigging up me and T Chanzo Sports. Big up 4-0 down as well, my bro. Make sure you subscribe to him as well. Just started his channel. Was with me on the watch along on that. So big up 4-0 down. Early Doors says, just popping in while away. Can't complete a day without a views lunchtime special. My brother, I appreciate you, man. Every time, bro. Make sure you go and like and go and subscribe over to Tony as well. He also says, big up for getting over the 500 subs as well. Views well deserved. Hey, we're trying out here, man. He said, just sub to T Chanzo as well. Thank you for that, man. Community settings over here. That's how we like to do it. Love for the love. So yeah, so back to you, my guy, the start of the show. No, made some great points. I mean, what I did want to ask you about is obviously I'm calling in Montgomery Berta. You get me? I'm hoping it's not Bert from Sesame Street. It's a big up on Waffle TV, because he said the Bert from Sesame Street, the Montgomery Berta. That was my thing though, because that's what I'm hoping he does. We see him at the training ground. He's in a suit. He's got his arms crossed, pacing up and down. I'm hoping that Arteta's sweating. I'm hoping that, at any moment he just says, release the hounds. You get me? And Arteta Smithers just, wanders off and just sit in the corner and let him come and do his stuff. But I wanted to ask you about Bert. I wanted to ask you, what you think that might mean for the club. What kind of power do you think he has? Do you think he's going to try and be on a good platform with Arteta from the off, or do you think it's kind of just a work in progress?
Yeah, you know what? That signing was very surprising to me in a good way, because I felt like the typical Arsenal thing to do was to get someone like Per Mertesacker or Thomas Rosicky, someone in-house that knows Arteta, that he's friends with, someone that's not going to question what he wants to do, etc., etc. But they went the other way. They went for the experience route. I was dreading, hoping that they didn't get Jason Alto either, because, bro, that would have been one of the worst, obviously, appointments that we could have made, especially how we treated the January transfer window. But for me, bro, I feel like this signing could be the making of Arsenal in terms of, this is a guy that's a proven winner in terms of when he buys players, when he buys players for Atletico Madrid, he pays the big money, he pays the big fees, he gets the high profile players, and that's what we're missing at the minute, man. We've only really got Declan Rice in terms of getting that play that maybe a couple of other teams want for high money, high profiles, but he's done it at tenfold at Atletico Madrid. And for me, Burr is definitely the guy that's going to come in and stand on business. There's no friends, it's all about a business relationship with Arteta. You can tell that, man. There's no smiling, no giggling, no happiness. Every time I see him in the stands, he's got screw face, he's serious. The videos of him walking around in the training ground, screw face, serious, suit on, like you said, ready to get down to work, down to business. And there's, bro, the tweet that really opened my eyes a little bit was that David Ornstein tweet when he said, when we linked us first to Gyökeres, because that was the first time we've really been linked with a proper journalist with Gyökeres, apart from like transfer rumors. But the fact he put in the tweet that it was from Berta is a key component in this kind of potential signing, made me think, okay, this guy's got a bit of power now, because now we're seeing the players that he wants. Do you know what I'm saying? Now we're seeing the players that he wants to bring in. Before, it's always Arteta admires the player. Arteta admires the player.
Yeah.
Edu was moving like a kind of like a side guy. Like he was just going to Arteta saying, "Yes, sir. What do you want? Do you want this? Do you want this, sir? Do you want that, sir?" Bro, it should be the other way around. Arteta should be coming to you for suggestions, and you're and ahhing thinking, "Okay, do I want that player in? Do I want that player in?" And that's how a sporting director relationship normally works. You know, he's the guy that's really got the final say in terms of, okay, this is best for the club. This is best for the long-term club. There's no guarantee this manager is going to be here long-term. So I'm going to get what's best for the club, not what's best for you. And that's the mentality that we need right now. And for me, that is a great thing for Arsenal, because when you go up back to the point that you said before in terms of what do I think is missing, I think that was missing. I think that to get in a proper, efficient sporting director that is not going to give Arteta any excuses of not having a striker, not getting a proper keeper in, not getting this, not getting that in, because that's kind of obviously some of the things that obviously fans have been saying. Arteta's not got the proper squad he wants. He still needs X, Y, and Z. He's not spent too much money on attackers. But now we've got a guy that I know buys attackers. I've seen the list. I've seen him get Cunha. I've seen him get Griezmann. I've seen him get Morata. Bro, the list is mad. I've seen him pay top dollar for João Felix, bro. He knows what he's doing. He can get the big money plays in the big forward areas. So for me, I know it's not going to be him, bro. Like, if we don't get anyone, it's the club or Arteta. It's one of the two in it. That's obviously not receiving or releasing the funds, or Arteta doesn't want the type of players that he wants. But, bro, the noise I'm hearing already is obviously good news. We need a striker. We've been waiting for a striker since Aubameyang, bro, left back in 2021. It's a long time, bro. We've not had a recognized number 9 since then, you know. It's madness. So, bro, for me, I feel like Berta could put himself in folklore in terms of already in good graces with the Arsenal fans if he just gets that striker in. Even the left winger. I remember we were linked with Pedro Neto in like 2022 to be a replacement for Pepe, bro. This is how long we've been looking for a winger as well. So there's 2 positions, man. Like, bro, listen, if he can get those over the line, and bro, for me, he's already done his job in terms of, okay, you're identifying the key areas we need in the front line, and you've got those players in, and now we're ready to go. No excuses for Arteta. You've got your gunman striker. You've got your left winger that you want to replace Martinelli and Trossard. Obviously, Saka's there as well. That obviously you love as well. You've got your front line, man. Havertz is on the bench. You've got your players that you bought. Declan Rice, 100 mil. Bro, there's no excuses. The defense is solid. You got your keeper. Like, listen, there's no more excuses. Man. That's the last piece. I mean,
you said a great point. Obviously, you know, when you're talking about if you don't, it might be Arteta saying, "Oh, I don't like that kind of player." What I'm kind of hoping for, my bro, is that he don't even get that choice. The only choice you get is you need to tell me what positions you need to get filled, and I'll go and fill them. Like, you don't get to. So that's what I'm kind of slightly hoping is going to be the dynamic. Like, cool, I'm going to work with you, bro, but you just tell me what you need, and I'll fill those positions. You don't tell me, "Oh, I don't want this guy, I don't want that guy." That's what I'm hoping is the case. And like I said, so far, as you said, every time we've seen him, he's been all about business, screw face. So and for me, obviously, because like I said, the PTSD is real. You know, I've always got that little niggling feeling in the background, like, let's just wait and see. Because seeing is believing at the end of the day. Because also me with my conspiracy hat on, you know, I was having a bit of a go at the journos and the people like us that create content, because obviously now that Berta's in, it's a nice easy way to just regurgitate the same story and say, because Berta's people's looking at him now, or because Berta's agents have met with him. So while I'm hoping that it's all true, and like you said, the moment you see it, it gives it a little bit more weight. You're kind of looking at it like, well, all right, Montgomery Berta's doing his thing, but at the same time, I'm just like, all right, cool. Like, seeing is believing, and this kind of gives me a good segue onto what I was next going to ask you, my bro, because like I said, this is going to be I said it on my channel. I haven't said it directly to you, but this is going to be a massive summer. Not just because Arsenal say so, but because it has to be. The stars have aligned. Like, you know, Newcastle can finally spend money after, you know, 4 windows of no spending. You know, Man United, Ruben Amorim still hasn't spent any money. He's already talking going from 14th in the table to winning Premier League. So God knows what they're going to do. Chelsea spent over 1 billion in 1 window. I'm going to ask you about that later as well, right? And they're just trickling into 4th, but they still need a striker, a goalkeeper, and probably a centre-back. Liverpool, if they go on and win the title, will spend, especially if they lose Trent. You know, as I said, Aston Villa are having a great season. They might spend again. Nottingham Forest will get into Europe. They'll probably spend. So if we have a summer like we did last year, I know what you did last summer settings, we will literally be, I think, in a top 6, top 8 battle, bro, because we're getting left behind. Because as you said, we're not maximizing every window. Do you know what I mean? We're letting this team stagnate. With all of these players are in the red, in my opinion. Declan Rice, look at Timber ACL last year, bro. Look, he's literally in the red zone, like, you know, the bionic man playing all these minutes every 5 seconds. You know, Saka. It's not a coincidence that we're getting all these hamstrings. So what I'm saying is, to kind of get to the point, this is gonna. What do you think would be a realistic summer for? But firstly, actually, do you think he's gonna have enough time to get everything done? That's the first question. And secondly, you know, if you was in his shoes, what would be a realistic summer for Berta?
Yeah, good question, man. To obviously answer your first question, do I think he's got enough to get done? It's bro, there's a lot to get done. My issue is as well, bro. Like, we're potentially losing Jorginho and Partey, and for me, we have to replace both of them. Like, I don't want to see us get one player like a Zubimendi, for example, and then now we're using Lewis Skelly as the cover. Bro, I don't want to see that, because now you're lessening the numbers for the squad again. This is what we did last year with Eddie Nketiah. We let him go, didn't replace him with any kind of forward, and said, you know what, Havertz is the cover and Jesus is the cover, and now they're both injured. And now we're having to play Marino, who's supposed to be on number 8 up front. So that's what happens when you rely on backups to people that are versatile to cover your main positions. When they're injured, then now they're having to play the main position for another position that they're covering. So you'll just end up being short in loads of positions. So for me, that's the real worry. I don't know if he can manage to get a striker, left winger, 2 midfielders, another keeper, because obviously Netta's going back on loan, and then potentially a backup to Odegaard, and maybe a left back or a defender if we sell Kiwior and Zinchenko. That's a lot to do. And this is why, again, I was so annoyed about us not maximizing every window, like you said before, bro, in terms of January and the summer, because you end up having to do more and more work as soon as the windows come along. So now, instead of us just worrying about getting a Partey and Jorginho replacement, now we still have to get the striker we didn't get. Now we still have to get the left wing we didn't get. Now we still have to get the keeper we didn't get last year because we didn't get Garcia, and we got someone on loan that was cup tied that we're going to have to send back. So, bro, and that's the thing that I had a problem with the loan signings. It was like, okay, we've got Sterling on loan and Neto on loan, but we're just kicking kicking it down the can, kicking it down the road, kicking the can down the road. Because now we're just going to get those players next year, as well as players obviously going out of contract like Partey and Jorginho. So for me, I think it'd be very, very difficult. What I will say is that I feel like for Berta is very key to sort out those forward signings first. For me, I would have a lot more optimism going into the next season if we got the striker straight away as soon as possible. If it's Gyökeres, go get him straight away. Start of July, we've got the guy in. So then I don't have to worry about Arsenal going to get striker into August, and then we're not linked with the real strikers that we want because everyone wants to stay. All the strikers already moved on, and then we're going to another season with Havertz up front. I do not want to see him as a starting striker again. I can't lie. We need a new striker up front starting for us week in, week out. He can be a bench player. He can be a rotational player. That's fine. But for me, we need a starting striker to be serious in the league. I want us to make a statement in the league that's like, bro, you know what? Arsenal are serious. And listen, just because you make loads of signings doesn't mean you're guaranteed to win trophies. I understand that. But it does give you a hell of a chance in terms of strengthening the positioning and enhancing the quality in the front line. We know that Martinelli and Trossard have not been good enough overall this season. We know that Bukayo Saka obviously has been injured for a large part, and we've struggled to replace him. Fantastic player. We know that Havertz, even though he's contributed here and there with goals, ultimately it's not enough to win you a major tournament, a major league title. So for me, in terms of Berta, I think he's gonna struggle, to be honest with you. It's a large task. I'm talking about 6-7 players of real quality to get in one summer, which is gonna be very, very difficult. But for me, I feel like if Berta can get in the forward line, get that sorted, get the left winger in, get the striker in, get obviously a replacement, I feel like we will get one midfielder in at least. I don't know if we can get 2. Again, money-wise, financially, it's going to be obviously an issue. And for me, bro, the biggest thing that no one's actually even spoke about, for me, is to get rid of some players, man. We've had the likes of Lokonga on the books for about 3 years on loans. We need to just sell him. Sell him. Sell these guys, bro. They're still on the books. They're coming back. Fabio Vieira is another one, man, on loan. If you don't want him, get rid of him, man. Sell him. Reece Nelson, another one on loan every minute. Sell him if you don't have any plans for him, man. We need to really cut ties with these players to free up space in the squad for actual players that are going to contribute. Because Mikel Arteta doesn't trust these players. He either loans them out, or when he does have them in the squad, he plays them minimally. So for me, that's a massive issue. Get rid of those kind of fringe players that people forget about, but then they come back for preseason. You're like, oh yeah, remember we got him on loan. He's been out for a season, and now he's back at the club, and now we're gonna do the same thing again. And that's where I thought Edu did drop the ball. His selling techniques, were absolutely atrocious, man. The fact that we couldn't get rid of certain players for so long, and didn't get. Bro, we gave away Fabio Vieira on a loan for no money to the team we just bought him for like nearly 40 million for.
Yeah, we paid 3 million for Marquinhos, you know, not to use it like, bro.
This is what I'm saying, bro.
Terrible. So no,
it's terrible, man. It's terrible.
Terrible. Because like I'm saying, like the job is massive, bro. The job is massive. Like straight away, right? Let's just go through it quickly, because I mean, obviously, you did hit certain points, and kudos to you for bringing up the Lokonga and the Tavares, because I was going to talk about that, and I did say that. You know, I was on with Specs and Geordie Dredd and big up Catch as well. You know, he was like, "Oh, it's not a massive job." I'm like, it is a massive job, because, like I said, before we even do anything, you got Saka, Gabriel, you know, Martinelli, Saliba. That's 4 players, all on the 2-year state, so they all need to get their contracts renewed. So that's the first thing. As you said, secondly, we got crocked players coming back in Reece Nelson. We got players that you don't trust or use, Lokonga, Tavares, Vieira, all these players to come back. We need to get rid of them as well. So already, how much work is that? 4 players to re-sign, maybe 3 or 4 players to get rid of. Then you're talking about Neto, Jorginho, Partey, I call him Meg Sterling, or Meg Griffin, you know, Raheem the Dream, whatever you want to say, and the cup tie goalkeeper. So that's 5 players going potentially as well. Then you're talking about Trossard, who hasn't signed the extension. All right, so he could be going. Then you're talking about Zinchenko, who's a fringe player, writ the book. You know, we don't know what's going to happen with it, and the same for Kivior. So essentially, you've got like 8 players leaving that we need to replace. We got 4 players we need to sign new contracts on, and then we've got like 3 to 4 players we need to get rid of. You know, either loan them back out or tear out their, because that's where I'm at the moment, bro. I'd tear out their contracts, like just take the hit, because we wasted so much money over the years, as you've said, and as you said, you know, the selling tactics, the selling is been terrible at this club. And you're right. I do believe it's Arteta and Edu and all of that, because I don't believe they're footballing people like that. So now that we've got Montgomery Berta, what I'm hoping is that we've got the first proper football guy in since David Dean left. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm really hoping. But yeah, just going back to what he's got to do. So all of that work, and that's before we've even bought anyone in, bro. Do you know what I mean? And then you've got to think about the positions you need. So for me, that's why I wanted to pick your brain about the realistic summer. Like for me, you know, if I was Berta, I'd be at Kieran's house every day of the fucking week until he signs and stays on. We're going to guarantee you that you're going to play. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because he's the best left back at the club, and it will save so much hassle to not have to go out and get another one. You know, he can battle it out with Skelly and Calafiori or whoever. Secondly, I'll be doing the same to Thomas Partey. You know, as long as the extra activities and stuff outside is all cooked and kosher, then he would be, look, 12-month contract. If you do well, 12-month extension, just so that we don't have to mess around with that too much. Even if and then I'd say, all right, cool, we definitely need a 9, a gunman. We definitely need someone to hold down the left wing. So they're 2 positions that are priority. You know, we need maybe an attacking midfielder and maybe either centre back cover or wing cover. But with those, like I said, for me, it will be like CAM, number 9, left wing. They're the main priorities that we go out and spend money on. And then, however, because I'm trying to be smart now, I'm trying to be realistic, we might have to then go and utilize a few loans, my bro. Because as you said, I don't think I've ever been alive and we've had a window where we've completed everything we need to do. I mean, that was a great point you said. If we fix the defense, we're shit up front. If we're shit up front, you know, or whatever, good up front, we're shitting at defense. So yeah, Berta really needs to be shrewd this year. So that's what I kind of wanted to get from you. What would be your, you know, if you could get like 3 players that you're spending money on, and then maybe 2 players that you're going to get into loan, just to kind of tide us over until we can do more business again.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what you said there, bro, about Partey and Tierney, bro. I feel like you're saving a lot of money. I mean, I don't even know Discord about Tierney. Obviously, people say he's injury prone, but then we've still got the likes of Tomiyasu on the books. And again, that's another one we need to get rid of, man. I'm sorry, he's a good player, but bro, the guy is not reliable, man. You need to have a reliable player, especially because he's cover for so many positions. He's covered for right back, he's covered for left back, he's covered for centre back, and he's never fit. He misses entire seasons, man. So yeah, for me, I would let him go. But yeah, like you said, I feel like if you keep Tierney, because bro, since Tierney's come back obviously into the fold after his injury at the Euros, bro, the times he's used him, man, every kind of time he's come on the pitch, he's made at least one critical cross that's been absolutely sensational, probably best cross of the game that no one's got on the end of. And I feel like frustrated for him because he's always there trying to put in decent balls in, and he's that the traditional left back that He doesn't get skinned. He's defending very well. He can get forward. He can overlap. He can create obviously channels for the likes of Martinelli or Trossard who wants to come inside. He can provide that width to give them a bit more space. So for me, I don't know why. Obviously, I know he's going to Celtic. I think that's already done. But yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it's a wage thing. But again, we're paying the likes of Havertz nearly 300 grand a week. I feel like we can, give Tierney at least 100 or whatever. It's 150.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying, bro. So yeah, for me, I agree with you, man. I feel like we should be keeping Tierney. Partey again is potentially. You've seen how good he was on Wednesday, man. Real Madrid game, he was sensational. And even though he is declining in terms of his age-wise, I still think he's got still plenty more in the tank. And like you said, a 12-month deal would be perfect, man, for us in terms of getting someone that's reliable, someone that's got experience in Champions League games, title like run-ins as well, but can obviously alternate with someone if we do get like a Zubimendi. And it will save us getting 2 midfielders at the same time that we have to integrate into the team. Because my worry is, bro, that we're just going to get maybe, like I say, a Zubimendi, and then we're just going to put Marino there, and that's going to be Marino, Zubimendi, Rice, or Marino, or Rice, Zubimendi, Odegaard, and that's going to be the three. And it's like, bro, it's not really an elevation in terms of what we've got now. Because if you ask me personally, I still think Partey is better than Zubimendi, especially how he's been playing this season. He's been one of our best midfielders throughout the entire season. So for me, again, we've got a lot to do, man. Like you said, but them two positions doing that would save us a lot of obviously problems and heartache and that. But yeah, going forward, for me, bro, my guy, I've said this before. Dream would be Isak, obviously. The likelihood of that happening is very, very slim. Of course, I don't think we'll pay the money, and we've got too much other stuff to do. I feel like we're not going to spend 300, 400 million overall for us to get him as well as other players. So, Gyökeres, man, bring him to me, bro. That's the kind of signing that I want in terms, bro. I want to be seeing this at the Emirates, bro.
Come on, bro.
That. Yeah?
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. That's what I want to see, my guy. Come on, bro.
What would be mad funny is obviously Gabriel did that one.
Yeah.
Bro, we signed him. I need an announcement video with Gabriel doing that.
And my man doing that. Come on.
It'd be so sick. It was so sick, bro. But yeah, for me, that's the perfect signing, man. You look at his record in Portugal, and people say, "Oh, it's only Portugal," but bro. If it was so easy to do, everyone would have 40 goals, 50 goals. But they don't. It's only this guy. So he's got to be doing something right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's true though, isn't it? Like, when you actually keep him, bro, this guy's getting so many goals in this league, but he's the only one getting this many goals. He's the only one
getting it. That is the main point. I was literally watching a video. There was like these 3 guys sitting around the table, literally analysing why Gyökeres isn't a good move for Arsenal, putting on all the Portuguese tax, trying to compare him to Sesko and say the way Sesko play suits us. I'm like, shut up, because that's just all PR and spin. None of us asked for Sesko. You get me? And when I keep asking everyone just to name me like the top 10 strikers in world football, I don't think you get to 5 or 6 and Gyökeres isn't mentioned, bro. So for me, and as you said, that's why you got the air horn, bro, because if it was so easy, why has everyone else not got 40 goals in Portugal this season?
It's true, bro. You got to be realistic and say, you know what? This guy's doing something right. Whether you rate the league or not, the guy knows where the goal is, bro. He scores at international level as well. So for me, and he's already played in England. Yes, he was the championship, but he already knows the culture. He's played in this division before in terms of being in England. So yeah, that would be the marquee signing. And it's not a lot of money, bro. We've spent 100 mil on a CM. This guy's, we could get him for what, 60 million pounds? 70 million euros a scene? Bro, it's money. It's a no. We spent 65 on Havertz, bro. This is a no-brainer to me. I don't know how anyone could be upset and think that we should get Sesko. When you compare the goal records between the two players, it's chalk and cheese, bro. Like, Sesko is a backup to a backup. He can't be the main man. We ain't got time to be waiting. Like I said, bro, 1 more year, and these man, like you said, we've got so many contracts to sort out. These guys are going to leave, bro. They're on 2 years. Look at the stress Liverpool fans have been going through this last year, because 3 of their top players are down to their last year. Only yesterday they got good news that 2 of them are staying, and everyone specs about Trent leaving, bro. We don't want to be like that with Saka, Gabriel, and Saliba. All 3 of them in their last year at the same time. We're worrying that we're gonna have to replace 2 centre backs on our main forward, bro, in 1 window, man. Imagine that. That's crazy. So yeah, that has to be patterned ASAP Rocky, man. And for me, the key signing would be Gyökeres in that front line. In terms of the left wing, I'm not too sure, bro, to be honest with you. There's not a plethora of top wingers that I'm really looking at. Obviously, I know we've been linked with Nico Williams. I've not seen too much of him, and I can't lie, I've not been overly impressed. I've seen a couple of Nation League games. I've seen him at the Euros. I feel like he had a couple of good games there, but I don't really watch the Atletico Bilbao. I'll be honest, man. I don't watch La Liga like that, so I can't really give you a thorough analysis on him if he's good or bad. So it would be one of them where if we got him, I have to wait and see what he does for Arsenal in the league. But yeah, man, for me, the striker definitely has to be Gyökeres. He's gettable. It's something that we can get 100%. Yeah. And it does look like we're going to be signing Zubimendi. Obviously, I know what Arsenal are like. I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch. Zubimendi should have went to Liverpool and turned him down and stayed in Spain. So it wouldn't surprise me if he goes to Barcelona or Real Madrid or just stays at Real Sociedad, man. So I believe it when he's holding the shirt in it. But obviously, he'll be an addition that obviously would be good because he's played with Mourinho before. I think he's played with Odegaard as well in that midfield three. So yeah, that would be a good addition in terms of chemistry and stuff. So yeah, for me, the key is the striker, man, and a prominent left winger. I tell you, actually, someone that I would get would be probably Cunha as well. You know, that's another player that I feel like could add a bit of quality in terms of replacing that Jesus type of profile of player who, again, when Jesus first came to the club, absolutely magnificent. The knee injury messed him up, but I feel like Cunha is a bit more prolific than him and has that little bit of dynamism in terms of dribbling, getting past players and stuff like that, and he's gettable as well. And he's Premier League proven. So, bro, if we got Gyökeres and Cunha as that added front line as well as Saka, I feel like that adds a whole different dynamic to that front line. You've got someone that can take on players, score goals in Cunha in the Prem. You've got a gunman striker who knows where the back of the net is that just wants to score goals. And then you got Saka who can provide for the two of them in it. So for me, it would be a nice little trio, man, of something a bit different that we've seen compared to the likes of having Havertz and Martinelli. You kind of know what they're already going to do. Seeing them for so many years. So for me, Gyökeres is the key signing for me that Burton needs to go over the line, in my opinion. And from there, bro, if we get him straight away, like the first signing, then I'm pumped. I'm jubilated for the season. I'm like, we've actually got a proper striker ready. Feed him, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So fingers crossed, man, we can get it over the line, man. We have to wait and see, my brother. We have to wait and see, man.
Yeah, we have to wait and see, man. But yeah, I'm with you, bro. We definitely need to get that gunman across the line. Just quickly on your comments on Williams. I mean, Williams this season kind of reminds me of Savio at Man City. So he isn't very kind of prolific in front of goal. He isn't putting up loads of numbers, but he's very dangerous in the game. He's always creating something. He's always, stretching the play, taking on someone. I've watched him a couple of times for Bilbao this season, and he has been all right. So, I mean, if we did get him, I wouldn't be totally opposed to it. However, I can understand where people say, oh, go and get Lookman or even an Eze, someone like that. Do you know what I mean? I think that could be quite good. All right, cool. Well, we are coming up to the hour. So let me pick your brain a little bit about Tuesday's game. Let me pick your brain a little bit about Brentford on the weekend, and then obviously the day after my birthday, the second leg at the Bernabeu. That's mad. You get me? Because like I said, it's half time. It's half time for me. I'm not getting carried away. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was very gobsmacked by what I saw, seen, but yeah, it's the Bernabeu, so I'm not getting carried away. So obviously, what was your thoughts on Tuesday's game? What was your thoughts on Declan Beckham, bro? Like, what was your thought?
Bend it like Deckers, crazy. Bro, you know what? Going into the game, I was I wasn't that confident, to be honest, bro. Like, just the way we've been playing in the league, I've not been obviously impressed too much. We've really been struggling to score or create a plethora of chances in the league. Obviously, drawing with Everton, the draw at Man United, we probably should have lost away. So yeah, going into that form, even when we beat Chelsea, it was only by one goal from a corner. We didn't look like we could score a goal. So going into this game, I thought, you know what, Real Madrid might come out a little bit more, but I don't know if I've got the confidence in the team to be prolific and be clinical when the time is needed, man. But yeah, going into the game, in the game, obviously, I remember Kivior make that mistake in like 20 seconds in. I'm thinking, oh my God, this is going to be long. This is going to be a long day, bro. Man made a mistake for no reason, under no pressure. So like, the nerves obviously was kicking in. But to be fair, I feel like the first half was pretty even. I feel like Real Madrid, were very direct in terms of what they wanted to do. They wanted to get Mbappe in that left channel. That's what they were targeting. They were targeting Kivior's side, that left channel. They wanted obviously Mbappe to make that inside run into the forward area and try and obviously test Ray as much as he can. He did get in a few times. One time it was offside, and another time obviously it was Ray that saved shot, man. So that was always not going to be happening though, because obviously Real Madrid, quality side, they're going to be creating chances. You know what I mean? You just have to hope that your defense and your goalkeeper can save you in those kind of isolated moments. But in terms of Arsenal, we had a few chances ourselves, man. Obviously, I thought Martinelli played okay as well in the first half. It got past Valverde a few times on that left wing. And then I thought Saka started the half pretty slow, but then towards the end of the half, he put in two very good balls in, man, where, again, bro, going back to the striker situation, we had a striker sitting there. That's 2 goals there in the box, man. 2 tap-ins, man, ready to, and that's what you need. And this is what I'm saying in terms of forget about the goals. It's the profile of player,
Yeah.
a player that wants to score goals. We've seen
Mm.
Havertz come out and say, you know, he's not a prolific goal scorer. We've seen
Yeah.
Jesus says his
I'm
strong
not
point
strong.
isn't scoring goals. These are the guys that are leading our front line. These are not serious gunmen. They don't want to score goals like
They don't
that.
want to
They'll-
score goals.
You know what I'm saying? They're not hungry. I've seen
Yeah.
Havertz turn it down, scoring a penalty to be the way. I think it was going to be the record scorer in scoring in how many games in a row at the Emirates. He would have
At the start of the
surpassed
season.
Van Persie. Yeah, the season gave it to Trossard and he missed. I'm like, bro, you're a penalty taker. Take the penalty. You would have got the record. It's
Scared,
crazy.
bro.
They're not
Scared.
hungry for the goals,
Yeah.
bro. That's what we
Yeah.
need. So yeah, that was obviously another obviously reason why I'm thinking we need to get a striker in the summer. Great, obviously header by Raya. Great ball in by Timber. Fantastic save by Courtois, who thought was there man in the match. He was amazing. If it wasn't for him, it could have been bro 5-6. I'm not even joking. So yeah, and then obviously Martinelli had a follow-up shot that was saved. So yeah, going into half-time, I felt like okay, it was an even game. I think obviously Real Madrid at the time I thought would be pretty happy with it. Didn't do anything too mad. Only conceded one chance, that Rice header. But obviously away from home, they're thinking, you know what, keep it a bit tight. Maybe we can nick a couple of goals, try and get an advantage, or even get a draw. They'll be happy with. But bro, the whole dynamic of the game changed when that free kick went in, and it's crazy, bro. Because when we got the free kick, I remember saying, bro, on my watch along, like we ain't scored a free kick since 2021 Burnley Turf Moor Odegaard. That's how long it's been. I remember the goal because I've been watching all the games since.
Bro, I had major egg on my face, bro. Major egg on my, I was sitting there saying, why are you covering your face? We ain't gonna do nothing. We don't even have a gunman. And like, I made a clip of it and put it on my channel because it was just instant karma. Do you know what I mean? Like instant karma. But sorry, carry on, my bro.
Nah, I love that, man. I love that, bro. To be fair, you at the early one, man. When we lined up for the free kick, I'm like, just don't let Odegaard take it because he never like beats the wall these days. You know what I'm saying? He's got some next pillow for in it. He can't shoot for loving the money at the minute, man. So yeah, when Rice stepped up, I thought, okay, he's got good tech. I don't know. Obviously, I've never seen him score a free kick before, but bro, when he took it, I actually thought he hit the side netting. So my reaction was delayed. I couldn't believe it went in from there because I'm thinking he's had to bend it round the wall. I know obviously people are criticizing the wall, saying they probably should have had extra man. I hear all that, but bro, take nothing away from the technique. The guy still has to bend it round the wall past the keeper, Courtois, who's probably the best keeper in the world. Brother, techers, absolute tech for days, bro. Fair play, big moment as well. And people have obviously questioned Declan Rice about obviously the price tag, but for me, I've never questioned it because I can see the mentality of the player. Yes, he can't do certain things, but the thing that he does the most that is clear, that he's a leader. He steps up when we need him most. He tries his absolute best. He wants to drag the team into heights that we've not seen before. We've seen it last season. We've seen it this season certain times. Even when he's not playing well, he never hides. That's the one thing I will say about him. He never hides. He always wants to get on the ball.
The captain was born. That's what.
Bro, this has to be the captain for me. I know Odegaard is the captain at the minute, but for me, we need to somehow try and get that off him, say maybe his form's not the best, so focus on your form, take the captaincy away from him and give it to Declan Rice, because for me, he's the captain without the captain armband, in my opinion, innit? But yeah, fantastic goal, great tech, great play by Saka, by the way, to win the free kick. And then again, after that, bro, it all changed, man. It all changed because for me, we were just on them, bro. That phase where we had that play where Martinelli had the shot, it was saved, and then Marina had the shot off the line, and he had another one that was saved. Then from the corner, we had Rice that was off the line as well. Then we won the free kick. This is all in the same phase, you know. This is all in the same minute that we were peppering them, bro. So the second goal was imminent. It was coming. You know what I'm saying? And if it wasn't for them saving obviously shots off the line and the goalkeeper, we would have had it before the free kick. So Saka does well, wins the free kick from Camavinga, gets booked. And bro, from this angle, I'm like, nah, I'm thinking he's got to take it because he's already scored the first one. But I'm thinking best we're going to get is probably a corner or something like that. There's no way he can score from that range. Bro, when I say this is one of the best free kicks I've ever seen, brother.
How was it better than the first one?
Brother, even better. And the first one was cold. Don't get me wrong. This one was next level. And bro, you can see by my reaction on fan hub reaction as well, and even the rival fans, bro. When man screaming like this, and it was a moment for football. It's mad.
It was a moment for football. It was almost like when Newcastle beat Liverpool. It's just a good football moment. You get me?
Bro.
And the thing is, when he stepped up for that, I was saying on my live and big up 4-0 down if he's still in here because he was on with me. I'm like, look at his eyes. Man's got the eye of the tiger. I never knew he was going to score the second one.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, blap. And I'm like, I can't believe, like, and I'm saying that the first thing that comes to my head is, so hold on. So what? No one saw that in training. No one, apparently as well. Apparently before the game, Madrid, Deckers was practicing free kicks and top binning it every time.
Swear down, is it?
That's why he said, I'm not
Oh,
listening to the coaches and I'm
yeah.
just gonna ping it. And look at what we've got. If I see anybody trying to take a free kick, bro, I don't care if I'm in London, if I'm abroad, I'm traveling, bro. Someone's get out the way, bro. You get me? If this guy don't take all of our free kicks now, it's the tragedy. But that was the big thing I took away from it. And it's good that you obviously pointed out the fact that there was saves off the line. And because I'm a little bit like, this is what I wanted to ask you as well, segueing on to the next game. I'm a little bit worried, my bro, because we actually did pepper them. And like I always say, in any of these big games with Arsenal, it's not about the other team, it's all about us, bro. If we turn up and we're doing this lethargic, sideways, you know how it is, that if we don't start, then we don't start, and it don't usually get going. You know, we normally have to come in, start fast, and take our chances. And that's what I thought was going to be the big issue. We're not going to take our chances. I mean, it just so happens that we scored 3, but I'm starting to think, boy, we could have walked away with 4 or even 5, and then going to the Bernabeu, you know, 3-0. It's still like I'm confident now, but I'm not talking about I'm not talking about PSG. Like a bird in the hand, I said yesterday, is better than 2 in the bush, yeah. And I'm not gonna, because wouldn't that be so Arsenal to be on cloud 9 one week and then the laughing stock of football the next? So yeah, so I just wanted to ask you about that. I mean, do you feel like, does any part of you have any kind of regret that we didn't score any more goals, bro?
Yeah. Looking back on the game, because I rewatched the game again, man. Obviously, but before I get into it, I need to touch on Mikel Merino's finish. Absolutely sensational. So cold, bro. If Isak did that, Messi, all of these guys, Gyökeres, we'd be waxing lyrical, bro. That finish was outrageous. First time in the bottom corner, finesse. The tech on that was crazy. So I'm gonna big him up for that. That was a sensational finish. But in terms of what you're saying about, am I a bit like in regret that we didn't score more goals? Yeah, 100%, especially with the chances that we made in the game, bro. Like, Courtois had to literally be saving stuff here, there, and everywhere, goals and shots off the line. And we all know in football, bro, I've seen this team, be 4-0 up at St. James's Park and draw the game 4-4, bro. Like, I've seen this happen already with my team. I don't care how long ago it was. I've seen it already. So for me, with the likes of Real Madrid and the quality players they have, bro, listen, all it takes, they've got players that can score hat tricks in 2-3 minutes, bro. We've seen it already. We've seen Rodrigo score 2 goals against Man City a couple of years ago out of nowhere, and they're through in the game. Bro, it's the Bernabeu, bro. Mad things can happen. They could be down, and before you know it, you're 3-0 down. You're like, what
especially
the hell
if they score early, bro? Especially 100%. If they score early. If they score early,
bro, this is what I'm saying. And bro, you know what? Again, even in Europe, bro, anything can happen. You can get a Buki handball, you can get a Lewis Skelly red card, bro. Anything can happen. Any bad decision, and bro, the game has changed, man. And now we're holding on. So for me, I feel like we just need to approach the game how we approached it in the first leg. I don't want to see what happened when I was watching the game last night with Aston Villa. I just felt they were too negative. They were encouraging PSG to dominate possession, dominate the ball, and they ended up losing the game 3-1. But they got absolutely battered. They didn't really have any kind of chances apart from the goal they scored, because they just encouraged PSG to attack them because they were just defending and didn't have any kind of outlet. Bro, you can't have that in Europe. You can't encourage teams.
That's why I was
to dominate the ball, bro.
That's why I was so surprised on Tuesday, because let's have it right. That's usually Arteta's MO. That's usually what he does, because, you know, I feel like this team is a representation of him as a player, which is very pragmatic and very safe. Safety first. Let's try not to lose rather than let's go to win. And I feel like that's been the massive problem this season. Obviously, Shane Gooner, other people I was with, they were all saying, look at the team yesterday when it's just let off the leash. Look, the coaching staff were telling them to cross it. As Godfrey said here, Saka told man to take the free kick if he felt like he would score. Because Saka, everyone keeps saying, you know, why is Saka the only player that Arteta ain't ruined? Because he's got his own mind, bro. He's got a backbone. And he was talking about Cunha. I think that would be a very good signing. However, I wouldn't be surprised to see on Sky Sports News Cunha's got Arteta in a headlock, bro, because he's that kind of a player. You know what I mean? And I don't know if Arteta can handle that, but I would love Cunha. But going back to Moreno, just quickly as well, I can't blame him. He's not a striker. You know, obviously, you know, we need a gunman. We were talking about Gyökeres, but I want to give him flowers, because, like I said, look at the finishes that he's scoring, bro. Look at some of the goals with his head, with his feet. You know, he's literally taken over from Havertz, because he reminds me of Havertz as well. Like if we're winning, like, look, he scored the 3rd goal, but what was he doing before that? Not much. But at the same time, he has clutch moments. He was bringing certain players into the game, and he literally does the Havertz mold already. And it's like, what we've got is like the battle of the midfielders pretending to be strikers. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good point, you know.
yeah. But what I wanted to ask you is because a lot of people are saying they'd rather Marino over Havertz now, and I hear that he's got like what is it, 6 and 9 or something? I don't even know.
Yeah,
6 and 8.
yeah.
So I wouldn't argue with that. However, what I do ask everyone, and I'm going to ask you now, where would Marino be in the team next season?
See, for me, yeah, now that, because for me, I'll be real, bro. I've not been impressed. I wasn't impressed with Marino in midfield. I just felt like the guy was too slow. He
Yep.
wasn't really participating in terms of build-up play. I didn't really like him in that left 8, man. I felt like it was similar to how when Havertz was playing there, where he's trying to be that box crusher, but bro, there's so much pressure on that right-hand side with Odegaard and Saka to build up our attacks. And then especially when Odegaard got injured and then when Saka got injured, we literally had nothing. The left-hand side wasn't really producing any kind of quality to really build up attacks from that left-hand side because Marino wasn't really contributing in terms of playing progressive passes, driving forward. It was more playing like a DM, my freak sake. So to be fair, I was looking at the signing thinking, oh, I'm not really been impressed, man. But since he's come up front, fair play to him, fair play to Arteta to obviously putting him up front as well as an emergency striker, because I feel like he's been really, really good in terms of not only his hold-up play, but the fact he's dropping into midfield, trying to occupy midfielders to really try and guess what they need to do. I seen obviously a tactical insight of what they did against Real Madrid. They had Marino drop into midfield, so Modric didn't know whether to go to. Yeah, exactly. Go to Marino or to Lewis Skelly or to Partey. There's so many options in that midfield. That's how we won the game, really, because we overloaded it and then quickly sprung it to the wingers. And then we have an attacking option to really attack Real Madrid's defense. So I thought that was really, really good. And for me, he's finishing, man. I can't lie. Some of the goals he scored, not many players in our team would score those goals. Some of the headers, man. The header against Chelsea was crazy. I thought that was very underrated. No one really people kind of thought, oh, he kind of just flicked it on. But he definitely meant to score that, bro. That was a header that he intended to go in that far corner.
I think that's his best attribute, is his heading.
Yeah, 100%, man. He's got some good attributes, man, in terms of aerially, in terms of winning duels, and again, technically as well. The fact that we've not actually created that many chances for him, but he's been very clinical, man. Very clinical. The goal against Fulham deflection, but you got to be in the box to score, to shoot, to score. The one obviously he scored at the weekend was, like I said before, sensational. He scored a few goals, man. The goals at Leicester as well, popping up in the right time. Great header, great finish for the second. So yeah, for me, I would kind of play him as like a third kind of striker, man. That kind of backup to Havertz and the main striker, to be honest, rather than midfield. Because I feel like in midfield, I want to see my left 8 more similar to Xhaka. I can't lie. I want to see one that's more progressive because I feel like when we had Xhaka in there, big him up, bro. Big up, man. Big up for the comment. But when we had him in there, bro, we got the better out of Martinelli. We got better out of Trossard. We got someone that could play progressive passes quickly into space. So then these guys can have shots closer to goal. That's why Trossard was scoring more. This is why Martinelli was scoring more.
Hearing Tierney, man, is the perfect product for Martinelli because they're building up that relationship. Do you know what I mean? But that's the reason why I kind of asked you that, is because obviously he's getting his plaudits and his flowers and all power to him, bro. He's not a striker. That's where we've put him. And as you said, I don't even want to see him back in midfield. But like I keep saying, with all the people that kind of get overhyped about it, I just asked them, well, where would he be next season in the squad? Most people say backup striker. So, you know, just kind of putting it into perspective there. But big up Marino, you know, great finishing. You know, I would never listen. Like I said, he don't pick himself. And as Godfrey says here, Marino just exposed Havertz, which is another thing as well. And Arteta wasted 65 million more money down the drain. So big up Yasser as well. Hope you're good, man. Big up Godfrey. Yeah, so just before we kind of end it out, let's talk about Wednesday. Let's talk about Brentford first, actually, man. What would you do against Brentford? Would it be wholesale changes? How would you approach the Madrid game after that as well, bro?
Yeah, bro. Now we got ourselves in a 3-0 lead. I've got to be honest, man. I'll make some wholesale changes, man. We can't afford the likes of Rice. Pardon me. The likes of Rice, Saka, who obviously went off injured as well. Timber. We need these guys fit. Saliba as well. So for me, I'm bringing back in Ben White to start the game. I'm bringing in the likes of Sterling to start the game, Wanyeri to start the game, Jorginho to start the game. These guys need to start the game. Give Rice, Saka the needed rest for them to be fresh for that second leg, because we're gonna need. Let's have it right. Even though we're 3-0 up, Madrid are gonna come at us, bro. They're gonna come at us because they've got nothing to lose. Everyone thinks they're out anyway, and they're at home. So, bro, they've got to show something. They've got to at least bring back a little bit of respect if they don't end up going through. That, bro, it's at least a tie. Because at the minute it's 3-0 on aggregate, which is obviously embarrassing for a team of their stature to be so low in a tie already. So for me, bro, I'll be making some wholesale changes. I'll probably start Raya in goal, but yeah, Ben White probably right back. The only problem is in defense, we've not got too many options. I'll start Kieran Tierney as well. But the centre back options, we've only really got what's Saliba, Kivior, Timber, and Ben White that obviously can play centre back that'll fit. Kind of Fury still injured from my knowledge. Obviously, Gabriel's out for the season. So that's probably the only kind of caveat. So maybe Kivior, and you might have to play Saliba, to be honest with you, because there's really no one else we can bring in of a decent quality. But in the midfield, I'll definitely change it up. Definitely put Jorginho in there. I'd play Odegaard because for me, I wouldn't even start Odegaard in the Bernabeu, bro. I feel like he was the one downer of the performance. I think he was hiding. He was ghosting in the first half. He got locked up by Camavinga as well. And someone said it brilliantly, and it felt like it kind of resonated with me in this game where when the going gets tough, you don't really see Odegaard. But then when it's all nice and dandy, he's popping passes off. It was similar in the PSV game. When it was tight, you didn't really see him too much. Then in the second half, he got his couple of goals. We're 4-1 up, 5-1 up. He's popping it around. He's doing reverse passes. This is where he comes alive. A little bit similar to Ozil. So I'm like, bro, we need you when it's 0-0. We can't. When we're 3-0 up, it's all good to be fancy and flash and doing what you need to do then. But, bro, we need you when it's really tight to be the difference maker. And I don't think he's done that enough this season. So I'd play him. Bro, again, the midfield, man, I'm looking at the options, bro. It's not a lot. Maybe you have to start Rice again, unless you want to play Marino there, but I don't really want to see him there again. So probably play Rice again, maybe. And then up front, I say, like I said, Ethan on the right, Sterling on the left, and then Trossard up front, man. Give Marino a bit of a rest and get these guys fresh and fit for the massive game we're going to have on Wednesday, bro. One of the biggest games we've had in recent time in terms of the importance of the game, the chance to get to a Champions League semi-final, bro. But we ain't been to one since 2009, man.
Yeah, bro.
Champions League semi-final, man. Nearly 20 years we ain't been to one. So, yeah, this is a massive opportunity, and we've got a great chance of going through, being 3-0 up. So, for me, wholesale changes. The league's already done. Liverpool are going to win it whenever they decide to win it. So, I'm not really too fussed about the result and the performance. It's more about how we go into Wednesday's game in terms of having players fit and available for that game ready and hoping we get to the semi-final, brother.
Yeah, no, I think that's spot on, man. I think I'm basically with you. I agree that he might not have certain choices with certain players in terms of the wholesale changes, but for me, I'd literally do any, why have we not seen Nathan Butler or Oyedeji? Like, he would be playing, even if I had to play him on the wing, I'd squeeze everyone. I'd maybe get someone from the youth to come up and play so Saliba can have a rest. I would literally ring wholesale changes except for Martin Odegaard. He would be playing. That would be his punishment, because you're right. There was times where he was just running away, giving it to Saka and then running away. There's no 1-2. There's no. So that was spot on, man. Absolutely spot on. Obviously he said over my dead body for the league, so we're kind of talking to a zombie at the moment. We're talking to a zombie at the moment, bro. Like Walking Dead music every time he comes out for a press conference. Like, so at the end of the day, this is your last chance, bro. This is your last chance. So I don't want to see any strong players against Brentford. Like I said, even if you have to play fucking, get Edu from gardening leave and play him, bro. Whatever you need to do, because this is massive. Just before we go, just give me your last thoughts on Wednesday, my bro. What do you think's going to happen? What do you think's more likely to happen? And then if the impossible does happen and we manage to knock Real Madrid out, do you think we've got the legs to go on?
Oh, very good question, man. In terms of what I think is going to happen, I do think we're going to go through. I feel like it's going to be a struggle, though. I don't think it's going to be plain sailing. I don't think we're going to win over there, to be honest with you. I feel like they are going to come back. I feel like they will get a couple of goals as well. But I do feel like we can score there. I am very, very adamant that we can score, whether it's from a set piece or from open play if they're counter-attacking and we catch them in transition because they're overloading plays to try and get that goal. And also they're missing Camavinga, their normal DM, because he's suspended. So that's going to be a big, massive loss. But potentially they could have Ceballos and Tchouaméni back. So again, that changes the dynamic of the game. This is what I'm saying. Not every game's the same, man. We beat them 3-0 this game. This could be a completely different game, completely different tactics, setup, etc. So we'll have to wait and see. But I do feel like they're going to score a couple, but I feel like we will score. I'm going to go for like a 2-1 Real Madrid win, but us to obviously go through on aggregate after winning 3-0, man. But in terms of what you're saying, can we go all the way, bro? It's difficult one, man. It is a difficult one because, again, I'm a bit like you, bro. I'm a guy that I need to see you do something before I can really believe. I'm not really a guy that can have loads of faith in something that I'm not really seeing any kind of reward from, if that makes sense. So for me, I need to see this team do it before I can have chest in this competition. We've never won it. So for me to be like, yeah, we're going to do this and do that when I've not seen this group of players win a trophy before, I feel like it would be a bit naive. But again, not to say that we can't do it, because again, Champions League and knockout football, anything can happen. Anyone can beat anyone at any
Anything.
given time.
Yeah.
On whoever's the best on the day dictates who actually wins and goes through in the competition. But it is looking like we're going to get PSG if we do go through, obviously, and PSG obviously finish off the job in Aston Villa. So yeah, that'll be a difficult game. We beat them before, but I feel like that game, they're a completely different team now in terms of Dembele. I think Dembele didn't even play in the Emirates.
No, he didn't.
He didn't know. So that's a new added problem straight away. And the form that, I mean, I don't know if you've seen the game yesterday, man. Doué's goal was crazy, man.
Outrageous.
Outrageous, bro. They didn't obviously have Kvaratskhelia either. He came in January. So that's two players that we didn't obviously face when we beat him 2-0. So there's a lot of context to that 2-0 win. We're going to face a different PSG team if we do face them. And I feel like it'll be very, very difficult to beat them over two legs just to see how they played against Liverpool. Bopped them really both games, really. And then
it's wild as well, isn't it? It's wild because you're looking at PSG like that could be a harder game than Madrid, and that's like 2025. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, so sorry, I'll let you carry on. But obviously, what I wanted to kind of allude to is not even just the fact that, because like you said, great point. It's a cup competition. Not always the best team wins it, that kind of thing. But I just feel like, do you feel like do you feel like we might have shot our bolt a bit too early? Like we beat Real Madrid. Do you feel like the team has got enough in the locker, like the legs, to kind of get to the finish line?
I'm unsure, bro. I'm unsure. And this is what my disappointment about the game was, because after obviously I was gassed about us winning 3-0, I had to remind myself, it's only the quarterfinals. This feels like it should be the semis going to the final. Like this is the team you beat to get to the final. Like it feels like we kind of, I don't know, man. It feels like this is probably the best game we're going to have in the competition, if that makes sense. If we can obviously surpass this, amazing, great. But it just feel like we've kind of done it, like you said, a bit too early. And the fact like, Gabriel's out for the season. Havertz is out for the season. Jesus is out for the season. These guys, obviously, Gabriel's obviously a starter, but Jesus and Havertz could have contributed and helped us in terms of coming off the bench or resting certain plays in certain games and certain elements of games, providing something a bit different. So they're going to be a big miss, man. I can't lie, they are in terms of going all the way. Because like I said, if we beat Real Madrid and go through, we still have two potential games against PSG, and then the final against potentially Barcelona, potentially Inter Milan, who are both two fantastic teams in the tournament, man. So yeah, I don't know if can we survive and play Kivio up until that point to win the trophy. I'm not too sure, brother. I can't lie. Whether he changes it and puts someone like Calafiori in there or Ben White in there, I don't know either, man. So there's a lot of decisions for Arteta to make, man, in terms of how we go forward. But yeah, I would say we're going to fall short if I'm being perfectly honest. But again, you can never say never, because I didn't think we'd beat Real Madrid 3-0 and we did. So yeah, that's my honest opinion about it, bro.
No, man, I appreciate that, man. And yeah, and obviously you said 2-1 loss, and listen, I'll take that. You know, man,
bro. Listen, as long as it's less than 3 goals, bro, I'll take any kind of loss, man.
Yeah, I'll take a 3-1. Cool. I'll take a 3-1. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, do you know? So I'm totally with you, man. I'm totally with you. It's going to be a massive game. I know, obviously, you're going to be there with the watch along. Man's doing that watch along king at the moment, so I definitely respect the work rate. Trying to be like tops. But yeah, man, I think I'll end it there. It's over an hour now. Thank you so much for coming on finally, my bro. Definitely appreciate it. Big up all the playback gang. Make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you're going over to subscribe to Tops. You've probably seen him already. If you watch Fan Hub Reaction or Fan Hub FC, you probably see man already doing big things. Hopefully we'll get him on the platform again. Anything coming up, my bro?
Yeah, bro. Obviously, we're doing the watch alongs at the weekend, man. Obviously, I think it's Manchester City versus Crystal Palace. I'll be doing that one. Arsenal versus Brentford, that one. And on the Sunday, it's Liverpool, West Ham, and Newcastle, Man United. So I'll be doing those kind of watch alongs at the weekend, man. So make sure you guys subscribe to that. And yeah, I'm probably doing a preview as well of the Brentford game to see what kind of team I'd obviously put up against Brentford to obviously rest a couple of players for the Real Madrid. And then the big one next week, Real Madrid versus Arsenal next Wednesday, man. Can't wait for that, man. That should be great. Another watch along, hopefully for the ages, bro. So yeah, that's my schedule for the time being, my guy.
Brilliant, man. Listen, once again, the time's just flown by as well, man. So we know it's a good show. Do you know what I mean? So like I said, very happy to finally get you on. Hopefully we'll do it again whenever you've got some free time. Busy man. But yeah, like I said, everyone, hit the like, go and subscribe to Top, show him some love. This has been Under the Lens, and we'll be back again soon, man. Peace and love, everybody.